Town Council meeting. Time is 7:01. Roll call.
Ron Granger. Andy Schaefer.
Here.
Todd Thane.
Here.
Sean Morgan.
Here.
Tim Weber.
Here.
Kyle Wren. Robbie Elam.
Here.
Tim, would you lead us in the invocation, please?
Oh, absolutely. Let's bow. Oh, Heavenly Father, gracious Lord, King of the universe, we thank you for this beautiful day that you've created. We thank you for the past moisture that you've given us. But most specifically, we thank you for your Son, Jesus, who gave his life willingly on the cross and was risen 3 days later. For all who call upon his name shall be saved. And Lord, I lift up this meeting tonight, the attendees. I lift up the town staff, the council. I lift up the mayor and the other council member that are not here tonight, that you may put your hand on them and put your hand on us and guide us in tonight's meeting and in our decisions on behalf of the people. Lord, I lift up our EMS, our police, our fire, and all those that serve the community, that you put your hand on them and protect them and guide us in your holy word. Be with us tonight and the rest of this meeting, and may we honor and glorify your name in all that we do. And I ask this in your Son, Jesus Christ's precious name. Amen.
Lisa, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 5A, discussion and action to approve the town council minutes of the March 11th, 2025 meeting.
I make a motion to approve the March 11th, 2025 minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion is made by Tim, second by Robbie. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, petitions of public input. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, trustees and Mayor Pro Tem, and also our town manager. So a couple weeks ago, I believe there was a hearing on a special events permit. I wasn't able to be there, and I did share that in advance. I was in Denver for board meetings. But then since that time, I've been hearing kind of rumors and misinformation and things of that nature that I really thought I needed to come in and clarify. You know, I have always instructed my staff we follow our policies, we follow the law. And, you know, I'd ask them if they were going to come to simply answer questions. It was done a little bit differently, and I probably did not provide them with the proper guidance, and they sat, and people question whether or not, well, they didn't speak up, nothing's wrong. I am not here to be disparaging to the chamber. As a matter of fact, we've had a great relationship. That is not my point. Or to point out and disparage anyone. Really, it's to respond to some things that were of concern to me as it related to a letter that I sent in for the chamber to use to serve alcohol on campus. And there were some things that concerned me. And of course, if there's some violations there, there might be violations with the town. I do know that there is a grave responsibility that you have to grant anything that happens on our campus or with other businesses in terms of granting a liquor license. Should something have happened, they wouldn't go to the chamber, they would come to the college if there was something that would have happened to one of our students. And they would have come to the town. So in that regard, there were other issues, but I want to say that I met with 2 members of the chamber board, and they were lovely. They were listening. They were humble. And we were able to work out an arrangement going forward for future events. So I want to put all of that to the side. There were a couple things that I heard that maybe a couple of the students who said that, you know, none of our students, all of our students said that they did not card. And then there was someone said, oh, well, we carded everyone. And there was a meeting held with myself and Jen Barker, Chuck Hayek, and Kathy Cottonsteady. And all of the students were there, and I trust what they were saying. They were very believable, that they were not oriented to what their responsibilities were, that they had to card. They were not oriented when they got there. They were not carding individuals. Students indicated that they were not carded themselves to make sure that they were 21 in service. Even though most of our NPS students are 21, they have to be. All of them don't have to be. They could be nearing up to 21. Some could have been 20. I also realized that there were a couple students who were given as a thank you alcohol, and that's not to be done on our campus, where you're giving someone alcohol to take out of the room and leave with them. And these two students, one said that they were both asked if they were 21. However, one was carded and one wasn't. Then the alcohol that was left in the room for 2 days after the event, or a day and a half after the event. The room wasn't locked. We've had students who go in and utilize that space for athletic practices. There were some that were going in to help clean up and reset from the crab crack. And the room was open. If those students had gotten access to that beer and they got into an accident and suffered a debilitating accident, I don't want to think about what could happen. My job, it really is to look out for the best interest of the students and to be a good partner to the town. And so that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Would anybody else like to address the council? Okay. Item 7, changes to the agenda.
We added item E, Alan Parker, who will be our new town manager, is here to get his contract approved, and you either come up now, Alan, or wait till that.
That did surprise me.
Let's wait.
Lisa said I was the last item.
Okay. 14E is added. Oh, come on up, Ellen. How are you?
Good, Lisa, there you go. My apologies, I hurt my back pretty badly the other day, about 3 days ago, and I had a fantastic running with the chiropractor this morning and got me straightened out mostly, but I'm still hobbling a bit. I wanted to be here tonight just in case anybody had any questions for me. Moving forward, I don't know if there's anything for me to say or was intended for me to say, but
You want to just give a little bit of your background, because obviously.
for the benefit of, I would be happy to. My name's Alan Parker. I live in Vernal, Utah right now. I was the Vernal Assistant City Manager for about 17 years. I was over the operations of the city, the daily operations in the sense of building and economic development, IT, all of public works. All of that was part of my daily routine there, and I worked quite a bit on other items while I was there. I've worked with the town of Dutch John recently as a consultant, trying to help them get their ordinances organized and create an appropriate space for them to grow in, getting them remodels on their town building and public works yard and impact fees and all of the things that go with a city that's on the cusp of growth. And so I've been doing that. I'm a 33-year Air Force aviation veteran. Before I worked in Vernal City, I worked up in Boise for the county there, and I also worked in Cache Valley for a time. And most of my life has been devoted to municipal service up to this point. And Rangeley has been probably one of the most exciting opportunities I've seen yet. I was driving Lisa nuts, I think, a little bit earlier today with a bunch of ideas that have been swirling around in my head about housing and other things. So really excited for the opportunity to serve in this capacity in this community.
Thank you, Alan.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yep. Welcome.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
So. I'll take the applause.
Enjoy them while you can.
Okay, item 8, change public hearings. We don't have any community and committee and board meetings. Tim, do you want to talk about today?
No.
Okay. Anybody else?
Don't blame you.
No, we did meet with Matt Solomon, who represents AG&C, and the county commissioners and one or two other people, and Lisa was there, about the nuclear waste storage that came up a while back. And, you know, this is just another one of those ideals that is put out there as a possible way for communities to, one, draw people to the community as far as the workforce goes, and lots of federal money carrots hanging around out there with no real answers to it. And there's no commitment from the county or the town itself to commit to something like this, because the only country in the world that's really got a good grasp on reusing spent nuclear fuel is France. They're way ahead of the program. Jimmy Carter's name was dropped as far as that's when it all kind of stopped for us back in that era. And they're just trying to figure out where in the country. I mean, it's just not Colorado, it's Georgia, South Carolina, many other states that this is being presented to. You know, it's just really a tough discussion to have when our state is conceding getting rid of coal, and who knows what's next, the finite energies that we, you know, 90% of our budgets, those that are in the taxing entities, rely on that type of industry, and there's no real answer to the nuclear stuff. It's just a discussion point. You know, a facility to be built is probably 10 years out, I think was said today, before even a facility could open. It's 10 years out from just being built, because our federal government takes responsibility for the nuclear waste, fuel waste, but then turn around, they're taking the responsibility for all these energy companies that are creating the nuclear fuel and storing the spent fuel on their property, because the federal government took the responsibility. We, the taxpayers, are paying $2 million a day for that, for breaking that federal law. So the government's finding itself $2 million a day of our tax money of something that there's no answer for. So if you're just as confused as I am after I got done saying all this, that's where I'm at. It's just a confusing situation. But then, you know, you talk about the state of the economy in Colorado, that it's in such dire straits that it's more serious than what people are paying attention to of what our economy is doing in this state. It's not good. So we need to, I guess, start fighting. I don't know. We need a big budget, and we need a lot of lawyers to figure out the laws that they've created and that they continue to create. So that's basically what I got out of the meeting. I had like 6 bullet points that I picked up out of it, and it's our government. It's a mess.
Amen.
So, state and federal.
Todd, Robbie, you guys listen in. Do you got anything?
Yeah, I didn't get a bunch of answers or anything really explained on any of it, to be honest. It was a lot of just preliminary talk. So
Yeah, I was looking.
I was looking for like what it would look like, what it's going to do, what's the repercussions, but it was just preliminary.
Pretty
talks.
much preliminary logistics discussions and no real education on the subject matter.
So
Yeah.
you're saying preliminary, but there's nothing going forward with having anything nuclear
No.
in Rangeley or Rio Blanco County.
No.
Because I don't want to hit the Facebook post saying that we discussed it and it's on its way.
Nuclear
It's
tomorrow.
not coming, right?
I will say this. It sounds like the discussions are still very much ongoing, but we're
Their next step would be community housing.
Yeah, there was a lot of that talk, how to present it.
And there, the one big carrot that he dangled out there in my mind was probably note number 4 on my notes out of 6 notes was a national research laboratory. And there was a $10 million carrot that goes along with that for the first community that steps up and says, yes, we want to go down this road. But that $10 million, you know, will go towards that laboratory, but it doesn't say what happens after that. So there's just so many unanswered questions that you know what, keep an eye on it, keep your ears open about it, because of the fact that, you know, I can't see it being built in our state just because of our new energy building codes that they just passed not too long ago and presented to us. That I don't know how we build a facility with the new energy codes. They'd have to get through those first in order just to build a building, and it's impossible to get through it. So.
Lisa, did you have anything to add?
No, I think Tim covered it. Like I said, they're just in the phases of trying to introduce it to the community, and then they would have to get a grant to do community outreach. So this is years down the road. But it is, you know, mostly to try and invigorate economic development, because the state of Colorado doesn't want oil and gas.
And they don't want coal, for sure.
Did you all get a feel if Mr. Solomon is pushing this, or?
No, he's gathering information. You know, he works for AG&C. He's gathering information because this is one of those things where you sit around at a table and go, what can we do to boost the economy in Northwest Colorado? And that's what the Associated Governments of Northwest Colorado does. I had mentioned, I think the cogency idea is such a fantastic idea yet, the thermal solar on a micro scale. You know, it's proven technology. We got $5 million federal grant, but we're stuck on the private part of that for the funding of all that. And I just can't believe it won't go because of the big push for green energy over the last 4 to 8 years on, you know, solar, the windmills, the whole ball of wax, but nobody pays attention to the waste and the destruction that stuff's causing. So we could be here all night talking about it, so I'll stop there, but it's frustrating.
Okay, was there any other committee or board meetings? Okay, council reports. Supervisor reports. Lacey Coker
And Ty's going to also be
and
doing that.
Ty Hamlin. Welcome, Chief.
If I could talk first, and then I'll bring up Ms. Coker. I just wanted to address the council on some restructuring that we did within the police department and created a community service officer division within the police department. We had 2 one-person departments. We had animal control, which consisted of 1 employee, and code enforcement, which consisted of 1 employee. And historically, that's caused issues whenever somebody was gone or not available. We didn't have a lot of cross-training historically. So a way to solve some of these problems was we created the community service officer position, which is used by other agencies across the nation. And we are putting animal control, code enforcement, and some other non-sworn tasks under that umbrella. So everybody who works in this division will be cross-trained in animal control, code enforcement, VIN inspections, anything that a non-sworn officer could do at the police department. They'll help fill in with that. Traffic control for parades. I can't tell you, with as many parades as we have every year, we're always looking for assistance on traffic control. This adds 2 more people to help us out in those situations. It really just made the most sense to restructure and use our resources in this way, and to me, this is the best way to use them. With the restructuring, we have made Lacey Coker our CSO supervisor, and I want to invite her up to speak a little bit about her new position and responsibilities. Any questions for me before I have her come up here and introduce herself again and speak about that?
Cheesecake afterwards?
Not this time, but I got you next time.
Hi, I'm Lacey Coker. I was previously the code enforcement officer, and now, as of yesterday, I am the community service officer supervisor. Super excited for this new role, taking on new responsibilities. I do have leadership experience with my past jobs, so to get back into a leadership position is very exciting for me. It's going to be a journey, lots of new things that we will be learning. We will be very busy, but animal control and code enforcement will definitely not be lacking. If anything, we will have more coverage. We can divide and conquer cover more of the town as far as code enforcement, be more available at the shelter. Speaking of the shelter, I guess I can give an update on that. We are down to 4 dogs and 0 cats. One of the dogs will be adopted in May from one of our shelter technicians. So then at that point, hopefully, we will only have 3. So our goal is to keep the animal count down as much as possible. We're really working towards encouraging individuals to let us post their dogs on our Facebook page, try and eliminate the surrendering or relinquishing as much as possible, depending on the circumstances, of course. We still work closely with other shelters as far as transferring out. We will not be transferring dogs into our shelter, not from out of county or anything of that sort. But yeah, I'm super excited for this new role, and hopefully it'll go well. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Lacey didn't mention it, but for our animals did get a spay and neuter grant, which they're gonna assist the shelter with medical costs for shots and spay and neuters, so that's really awesome.
Cool. Okay, town manager report, item 12.
So I didn't mention a few of the meetings. We had a planning and zoning meeting last week, an AG&C meeting, and Northwest CDC. Jeannie stood in that meeting since I was out that day. All of those just were updates in different areas, nothing of consequence that was different. It's just mostly updates from each of those different entities. Michael is almost done with the high zone tank grant, so that should be finalized in this quarter. Everybody's just, like I said, because we have had lack of snow, they've just already started on their summer projects, and also we did get the maintainer in, so they're going to get training on that this week. And if the old one's not done, we'll be helping it move to its new owner. We are almost finished with the apartment at White River Village that was vacated, and we already have someone to fill that spot as well. As I said, all of the departments are working on their capital projects, so hopefully we'll be well into those. As you all probably saw, we did get both new grants for the applications that we had for DOLA, so they're working on those. Joslyn is in the middle of getting the river put in bid out to those entities, so that should hopefully be resolved here in the next couple of months as well. Other than that, just been keeping busy with, obviously, we spent a lot of time hiring Ella, and I think we made a very good choice, and the council did, so lots of meetings of that sort too. You guys have any questions or?
I got a couple.
Sure.
Maybe this for you and Dr. Jones too. I don't know if she's where we're looking at with DOLA. What's the outlook with DOLA for the remainder of the year for the community?
You mean
Is
as
there
far
any
as grants?
money available? Yeah.
They're taking a large portion of their grants. The next 2 cycles will be very minimal. I mean, we felt pretty lucky to get 2, even though they were small ones.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
also during agency, I did fail to say they will probably sweep almost all of our severance tax. They said not to even expect anything. So
When you say they, you're saying
the state of Colorado.
to backfill budgets?
They are trying to backfill their budget, and I mean, I think schools and the college are also looking at, cuts in their funding.
Is that Dr. Jones? Lisa, is that true on your behalf with DOLA? Is that your experience with DOLA as well?
Not necessarily DOLA, cuts from the state.
Yes,
but
I'm sorry,
cuts in this funding for CNCC.
For the state? They're just, the outlook's not good.
It's not. And
All right.
we just got word today, though, that we might be more flat in terms of all the various forms of funding. It might be more flat. We thought we were going to be 10 to 15% under, except for the fact that we're being required to pay somewhere around $500,000 in various requirements, salary increases, taking on matches for grants, and things of that nature.
And that's being dictated by the state college system. Not the state actually is doing that. So for those of you who don't know, DOLA is actually off of the severance tax money off the mineral extract that we get in the state, and it was meant to backfill and help communities that are energy impacted. So what that's telling me is the state saying the whole state's energy impacted, and they're taking the rest of the money that belongs in these energy communities such as ours to backfill their bad decisions as state lawmakers.
On their budget.
On their budget, right. So we have I think $1 billion deficit with this state right now.
And making more laws to make more budget.
Right, but yet, like Dr. Jones has pointed out, they have to increase salaries. And everybody's had to increase salaries, even part-timers. But yet, we don't have the money to pay these. So it's a real struggle that, I spoke to earlier, that we need to figure out ways to join forces with everybody in these affected communities and start fighting back and fighting for what is right. So, thank you.
That's getting proper representation for the Western Slope.
Right, we don't have it.
That starts there.
Local control. Right, so, yeah,
Agreed, Tim.
thank you.
Any other questions for Lisa? Thank you, Lisa. Item 13, old business, we don't have any. Item 14A, discussion and action to approve the February 2025 income statement.
So, just an overview, general fund usually is in the hole till we get severance and mineral lease, hopefully we'll break even on that. Water fund, we're working on that capital project, which that will probably roll over when we actually make the application for those revenues. The only other one that is in a negative is the housing assistance, and that's over our Proposition 123, and those are lawyer fees trying to get that deal closed out. Everybody else is doing a really good job of managing expenses. We don't have anybody that is drastically over where they should be at this point. Obviously, certain funds like gas usually are lopsided just because of coming out of the winter, but not as poorly as we normally are. So I don't know if you guys have any questions about specific funds, but
Just maybe a typo, or maybe it's my misunderstanding. It says 2023 budget. Should that read 2025 in the blue lines?
oh yes.
Yeah.
I was confused with that one. I just caught it because I looked at it the other day and I didn't catch it.
Years.
Right, so that's, okay. Thank you. I make a motion to approve the February 2025 income statement as presented with the correction of the year.
I'll second.
Motion is made by Tim, second by Todd. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 14B, discussion and action to approve sanctions related to the special event permit violations for the Rangeley Chamber Crab Crack. Mary Bell, will you read your statement real quick?
Sure. Myself, as the liquor licensing agent, received a complaint about violations of the special event permit that was issued to the Crab Crack that was held on February 22nd, 2025 at the Colorado Northwestern Community College, Colorado room. A public hearing was held on March 11th, 2025 to hear from the Rangeley Area Chamber of Commerce. Violations of the special event permit allows the licensing authority to fine, suspend, or revoke a special event permit holder pursuant to subsection 44-3-6022 CRS and regulations 47-600 through 47-606 as applicable. The state or local licensing authority may further order the denial of future applications for another special event permit submitted by the same organization. Below is the list of violations investigated. Violation 1, special event permittee left alcohol opened and unopened, unattended after event time and date of application. Violation 2, special event permittee did not instruct servers to check IDs for age verification before event started. Violation 3, special event permittee provided and allowed servers to take alcohol outside the permitted venue area after event concluded, and included in that is servers were not asked to show ID to verify age. Upon my investigation, the chamber, by their own admittance, did leave alcohol unattended after the event on the premises. The town manager and I attended a meeting this morning in which we were given information that the second and third violation were determined to be true through in-person interviews with students that were given the responsibilities to serve alcohol. They were not orientated on their duties as bartenders by chamber representatives and were not instructed to check IDs when they were serving. Servers were allowed to take alcohol that was given to them from a chamber representative from the venue premises as a thank you for their help. Recommendations to prevent future violations would be to not serve single-serve drinks, orientate all servers, a system of checking IDs whether at the door or at the bar, and no liquor allowed to leave the venue premises where the special event is taking place. With that given said, I do believe that the Rangeley Area Chamber of Commerce did violate their special event permit responsibilities. As the liquor licensing agent, I take these violations very seriously and ask the council to take actions concerning those violations.
Okay, I'll open it up to the council. Is there any discussion between the council at this point?
Maribel, you said that according to your investigation, all three of these allegations are true.
Yes.
I want to say that I hope we don't have to get good at doing these. And I will make a motion to suspend the chamber's special permits used for 1 year, reinstated April 1st, 2026.
I'll second that.
Motion is made by Todd, second by Robbie. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Item 14C, discussion and action to approve the renewal of the liquor license Mini Mart Incorporated DBA as Loaf and Jug, number 750867.
I'll make a motion to approve the liquor license for Mini Mart Inc. DBA as Loaf and Jug number 750867.
I'll second that.
Motion is made by Robbie, second by Sean. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 14D, discussion and action to approve a contribution to CNCC Foundation / NIFA team to compete at nationals.
And so I just wanted to let you guys know that we budgeted $6,000 out of the fund for public giving, and I think that would qualify for place to actually, do a donation, and I would love you guys to step up and put it back in.
Hey everybody, I'm John Roberts. Been a CNCC aviation student for 2 years now, graduating this year. And this year I've had the great privilege of being one of the co-captains on the team. We've raised about $33,000. We need about $40,000 because we're traveling to Wisconsin. And my guys have been doing a really good job, and we're just falling a little bit short. So we're just trying to get some exposure for the team. If we have any ideas as to other things we can do to make a little bit of money so we can merge that $7,000 gap so we can bring everybody that we want to bring. Yeah, that's what I got.
Did you say you need $70,000?
Seven.
Yeah, I can speak to it a little bit. My name's Nathan Hart. I'm the aviation program director. I get to be the advisor for the CNCC team, which is really fun. I got to compete a few years, coach a few years. Now I get to kind of lead them and guide them to what they need to accomplish. John's right. It costs about $40,000 to go. It's incredibly expensive because it's really far, and we're going to be gone for a grand total of about 14 days. So room, board, airplanes aren't cheap. Vans, the whole 9 yards. It gets pretty expensive pretty quickly. But they have been killing it. They've been doing a great job of raising funds. They've been really working their tail off, no pun intended, to try to get there. We have 2 more fundraisers before we leave May 5th, and we're hopeful that we're going to do well at those. You know, we don't like to just come ask for money. We try to bring you some value. So, you know, we've sold donuts. We're doing a car wash. We have a cornhole tournament. We do the pancake breakfast in July. We do as many events as we can possibly do and try to add value to the town, not just ask.
Yeah, my guys are willing to do community
Yeah,
service and
just
stuff
about
like
anything.
that, too.
We've raked yards. We've done just about anything and everything you can think of to do. We've done it. So we just come before you today just to kind of humbly ask if you have anything. We're certainly proud to go represent Rangeley in Northwest Colorado. And if you have any ideas for us, we're all ears for those as well. So thank you.
What does the competition look like?
Yeah, so it's like a track meet for pilots is what it is. There's competitive flying events and competitive ground events. So we take a team of pilots, and it's important to note, too, there are 32 teams that compete at nationals. We're one of only 2 two-year schools in the entire nation that actually made it to that national competition, so we're extremely proud of that. We did win the top 2-year flight school many years ago, and we've got a really good chance of winning that again this year, so we're pretty excited about that. Precision landings, message drop. We're throwing blocks out of an airplane at 200 feet AGL doing cruise speed. There's ground tests where they're doing math with a mechanical slide rule, basically. Whole bunch of different events, but they're competing as individuals, and those points are accumulated into a team total. If the team total is high enough and we beat the other 2-year school, we come home with a nice shiny new trophy for the trophy case, and everybody's proud of Northwest Colorado for winning top 2-year flight school. So that's the goal.
They'll give you 40 grand back.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. You know, there have been economic development studies. I told you I don't like to just come ask for money. I like to add value. There have been economic development studies done that show, you know, when we do well, we get more students. That increases tax dollars. So we're just trying to get more people here into Rangeley and represent well.
Well, just from myself sitting here, I want to thank you, Nathan, for bringing the excitement back into the aviation program.
I appreciate
that was lost quite a few years ago. So I really appreciate the excitement, and thank you, Dr. Jones, for enabling him the best you can with the breadcrumbs you're given to run these excellent programs. You have several up there that can be highlighted. It's just Big Brother keeps stepping on us. So,
yeah, I'd like to say, too, the administration at CNCC has been nothing but supportive every step of the way. So we're extremely grateful.
And I want to say, and I was going to actually go up there to say, but I'll stay right here, is, when he's not saying, this year in Fly Magazine, this program was identified as number 1 in the state for producing work-ready pilots.
Right.
People ready to step into the cockpit right away.
Amen.
Number 1 in the state. And that's really pretty fantastic.
It is.
There's not other institutions with a heck of a lot more money. They're not in the type of system where you're given the breadcrumbs.
Right.
They actually are able to take all the tax
Right.
dollars. So I want to say that, and I also want to say that when I came on board, we had about 8 or 9 students.
Right.
There's about 54.
Yeah.
54?
For
Wow.
every 60 students brings in $1 million
Right.
to the county.
Right.
For every 60. And we're right now still waiting on getting that building fixed and other things, but we try to pay them back, but there's no way, because bringing our students and giving them their livelihood, that's something you can't pay back.
I think that's something as a council and our new town manager and even our retiring town manager, we can appoint her to this advisory committee to revisit the airport stuff. I'm serious, because I think the airport stuff is where it's at. I mean, we have the MPS program. We need to cheer Chuck up some because Chuck needs to be cheered up, and I just think that by building that will definitely boost the economy in Rangeley.
They're a brand standard.
How does the maintenance program look? Sorry, Nate, I don't mean to keep jumping back and forth.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
They're doing really well. I don't know, I can't speak to their student enrollment numbers because I'm not intimately involved with that department. But yeah,
Are they? Good. Okay.
we get a chance to collaborate every now and again between aviation flight and aviation maintenance, and yeah, Ty's doing a great job down there. So
Yeah, good, okay, because I really think that that's a nugget, a carrot that we can actually grab a hold of and run with. I really do,
Just
so.
a reminder, I serve on the junior college board.
I know you
and
do,
I
Lisa.
plan
That's
to
why I want.
He's just
I
trying to
wanna create
volunteer
as
for
many
everything.
advisory
As long
boards
as
that I
we'll
can to
have me.
put you on them. But I appreciate it, so hopefully, I don't know what the rest of the council thinks. We got, what, a $6,000 budget? Okay, and they need 7,000?
Does the 6,000, does the 7,000 more you need, is that before or after our contribution?
it would be before, and we're going to fundraise. We just appreciate y'all hearing us out. We're going to fundraise regardless. We're going to just keep raising money because if we end up with a surplus at the end of this, it goes towards the next year's regional competition.
Yeah, good.
Some exciting news on that front too. We are hosting regionals here next year, so there'll be 7 schools from our entire region, which is basically the Colorado Rockies, not just Colorado Rockies, the entire Rocky Mountains. They're going to be coming to Rangeley to compete.
Awesome.
So yeah,
That's what you need to tell them is if we go to nationals and win, that the national competition has to come back to the winning teams.
Listen,
airport.
that's a tall ask. Our pilots are better than most, and there's a lot of flatland pilots that couldn't hack it here, so we can't host. But
I want to build my house up here.
yeah, we're happy to go beat them up in their own
Are you not
territory.
competing against like the Air Force Academy?
We are,
pilots
so they're
as
in our
well?
region.
Yeah.
We're competing against the Air Force Academy. We're actually competing against every service academy. Embry-Riddle, Prescott, and Daytona. They have two campuses. Southern Illinois University, University of North Dakota. We're competing against everybody. So to even get to the national stage is a huge honor as it is. But if we can bring our entire group of people, the instructors we want to bring, we're not. I've told the guys my goal is not to win nationals this year. My goal is to win nationals for the next 10 years. And the way we do that is bring as many folks as we can now and kind of indoctrinate them into what NIFA really is. It's a huge value add too to the students because there's just a ton of networking opportunities. They'll have actual mainline carriers there and regional carriers there that will do job interviews on the spot.
Okay.
They give away headsets and iPads, and
Nice.
you're talking
Not
to
cheap.
you're talking to your future employers or your future coworkers, and I mean just that value out of the students alone is pretty massive. And like I said, they're doing as much as they possibly can to try to get themselves there.
Fantastic.
We're just right there. you
Right.
know?
Okay.
So Lisa, what do we have in the budget total? The 6,000 is what we have in there total?
Under the fund for public giving, I mean, we have a few other line items that we can give contributions to, but I just wanted to let you know, you can take all or part of that. We have kind of eliminated some of our public giving just because of other contributions we make in other areas, like the Rangeley School Foundation, so.
My suggestion
Another
would be
advisory board.
that we come up with a donation, and then if you guys don't make it to your goal, to come back to council.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see what we can do for you. What that amount is completely up to the council, where you guys want to go with it. But that would be my suggestion.
That's fair. We appreciate it.
Would a recommendation of like maybe 3,000 be too much or too little?
Is that your?
I thought we had 6.
Well, if I had my
thought we
way,
had
I'd give them
6
the whole
for the year.
7,000, but I don't
nice
have
to-
control over the
Just
budget
donation.
because I
We
think
have
it's a very
6,000 for the entire year. For
Yeah.
all your
So
donations.
the little kids
Yeah.
might not get it.
Yeah, you would be taking the entire fund.
Let's get them halfway there. 30.
okay. 3,500.
I will tell you this too. One of the biggest fundraisers we have is a sponsorship program, and at the level, I think it starts the embroidery. I can't remember where it starts, but we'd be happy to put the town seal on our apparel and go compete wearing our seal
Well,
proudly.
you're already representing us without the seal by saying Rangeley, Colorado.
Yeah.
So I make a motion that we give $3,500 towards this event from the public giving account. And as Mayor Pro Temp Schaefer said, please come back if you need help getting to that goal. And I, for one, will look for some people that I know that hopefully maybe I can squeeze some dollars out of them as well for this. No promises, but
We
we'll
appreciate
see
any
what
help
they
we
say,
can
but
give.
My motion is 3,500.
I'll second that.
Okay. Thought I just had something to say, but I guess not. Oh, the embroidery. I think that would be great.
Yeah, we're happy to do it.
If you, we can get you digital
Perfect.
of it. So
We haven't ordered our national apparel yet. We're ordering actually here in like a week, so good timing.
If you can fit it on there, I think that would be great.
Yeah, we'll do it.
And that's ordering for the pilots and stuff.
Yes, sir. It's for the whole team.
And maybe you could offer that to the public too, and they could buy one at an extra charge to
Yeah.
raise some more funds, maybe. Because I'd buy one
Sounds good.
and a hat.
We can do that. They're good looking
Makes a
hats.
hell of a paper airplane.
Yes, I make a good paper.
So the motion is made by Tim, second by Robbie.
Yep.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank you.
gentlemen,
Keep doing a
and good
great
luck.
job.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Nate.
Okay, 14E, discussion and action to approve the contract for Alan Parker for the Town of Rangeley manager position.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract for Alan Parker for the Rangeley Town Manager position.
Second.
Motion is made by Todd, second by Tim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, it's too late, Alan. You're
They
on
gave
the
us a
hook.
third, fourth, fifth option. We don't
You're on,
say yes.
you're on the hook.
This is officially the Hotel California.
Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Motion carries. 15A, CNCC Foundation Dinner on the 12th. The health fair is coming up on April 5th. We don't have any board vacancies. Scheduled announcements are A through M. Is there any questions on those or changes?
Kyle's not here to change.
Yeah, thank goodness. Okay, is there anything else that needs to be brought in front of the council? Okay, we'll adjourn at 19:48.
Why you do something like that?
Jackass.
Thanks, Andy.